The plane was already boarding when 17-year-old Marcus Thompson stepped onto the jet bridge at Chicago O'Hare International Airport. His first-class boarding pass felt like a golden ticket, a gift from his father, a man whose name carried weight, but whose influence Marcus rarely flaunted. As he entered the aircraft, the spacious leather seats of first class gleamed under soft lighting, promising comfort for his trip to a national coding competition in Seattle. But within minutes, a confrontation would unravel that would ground the plane, shake an airline to its core, and spark a national reckoning. What happened next would leave passengers stunned, executives scrambling, and a teenager's dignity on the line. Marcus, a computer science prodigy, was no stranger to standing out. At his elite Chicago Tech Academy, he'd earned a reputation for building algorithms that could outsmart even his teachers. This trip was his shot at a scholarship to Stanford, a dream his father, Daniel Thompson, had nurtured with unwavering support. Daniel, a self-made tech billionaire, had bought the first-class ticket to ensure Marcus traveled in style. "You've earned this, son," he'd said, his voice thick with pride. But Daniel was tied up in a high-stakes acquisition meeting that day, leaving Marcus to board United Horizon Airlines Flight 214 alone. The gate agent scanned Marcus's ticket with a smile. "First time in first class?" she asked. Marcus nodded, adjusting his backpack, which held his custom-built laptop. "You're in for a treat," she said, waving him through. On board, a young flight attendant, Emily Carter, guided him to seat 2A, a window seat with a plush blanket folded neatly across it. Marcus settled in, texting his father. Boarding went smooth. "First class is unreal." "Thanks, Dad." The moment felt perfect until it wasn't. Chief Flight Attendant Linda Grayson appeared beside him, her smile thin and unconvincing. "Young man, may I see your boarding pass?" Marcus showed her the digital ticket on his phone. She studied it, her brow furrowing. "And your ID?" He handed over his school ID, the only identification he carried. "You're in first class," she said, her tone implying disbelief. "Yes, ma'am," Marcus replied, unease creeping in. "These seats are expensive," she pressed, her words laced with suspicion. "My father bought it for me. I'm heading to a coding competition." Her eyebrows arched, and she walked away, but Marcus felt her eyes linger. The cabin filled with business travelers in crisp suits, their briefcases clicking into overhead bins. A middle-aged man, Robert Langley, took the aisle seat next to Marcus. Linda returned, now holding a clipboard. "Sir, are you sure you're in the right seat?" she asked Marcus again. He showed his pass once more. "I've already checked it." Langley chimed in. Maybe he found the ticket somewhere. "Kids don't usually sit up here." Marcus's heart raced. "This is my ticket. My father paid for it." Linda's smile tightened. "We'll need to verify this." Mix-ups happen. Before Marcus could protest, Linda summoned a security officer, a burly man named Carl Dempsey. "Sir, we suspect possible fraud," she said loudly, drawing stares from nearby passengers. Marcus's face burned as he dialed his father's number, but it went to voicemail. "Please, just check the manifest." "My name's Marcus Thompson," he pleaded. Dempsey grabbed his arm. "Gather your things. Let's not make a scene." Marcus's water glass tipped over, soaking his jeans, as Dempsey pulled him from the seat. Passengers whispered, some filming with their phones. "Probably tried to sneak in," one muttered. "They always want what they don't earn," another hissed. Emily Carter, the younger flight attendant, watched with visible discomfort but stayed silent. As Marcus was marched through the main cabin, 200 pairs of eyes followed. At the jet bridge, Dempsey released his grip, leaving red marks on Marcus's arm. "This is discrimination," Marcus said, his voice steady despite his trembling hands. Linda scoffed. "You're lucky we're not banning you for fraud." Desperate, Marcus called his father's assistant, Patricia Wells. "It's Marcus," he said. "They're kicking me off because they think I don't belong in first class." Patricia's tone sharpened. "Stay there. Your father's in the United Horizon acquisition meeting. I'm getting him now." Linda grabbed the phone. "This is Linda Grayson, chief flight attendant." "This young man," Patricia cut her off, her voice audible. "You're speaking to the son of Daniel Thompson, who, as of 20 minutes ago, became the majority shareholder of your airline." Linda's face drained of color. She handed the phone back, speechless. Moments later, the gate agent approached, her expression shifting as she recognized Daniel's name. "Mr. Thompson is on his way," she said. Marcus stood firm, his humiliation giving way to resolve. "You thought you could do this and get away with it," he told Linda, who avoided his gaze. Inside the plane, passengers grew restless as the departure time passed. Linda's phone rang, and her voice trembled as she answered. "Yes, Mr. Reynolds, the CEO," her words faltered. Marcus overheard. The plane was grounded by Daniel's order. Langley, the businessman, paled as he realized Marcus's identity. His company had been pitching Daniel's firm for months. His career was now at risk. At United Horizons headquarters, Daniel Thompson sat at the head of a conference table, finalizing his acquisition of the airline. His phone buzzed repeatedly, and when he saw Patricia's name, he stepped into the hall. "They dragged Marcus out of first class," she said. "They claimed his ticket was fraudulent." Daniel's calm shattered. "Ground that plane," he ordered, re-entering the boardroom. "Where's your operations center?" he demanded of airline president James Reynolds. The executives froze. "Your staff just humiliated my son," Daniel said, his voice low but lethal. "I want the footage. Now." In the operations center, Daniel watched the security videos. Linda's dismissive tone, Dempsey's rough handling, Langley's snide remark. His fists clenched. "I own 51% of this airline," he said. "Ground flight 214 immediately." The operations director complied, and Daniel headed to the airport, vowing to confront those responsible. At O'Hare, Daniel strode through the terminal, his legal counsel, Sarah Mitchell, and security chief, Michael Brooks, at his side. Marcus spotted him first, relief flooding his face. Daniel embraced his son, checking the marks on his arm. "Ms. Grayson," he said, turning to Linda, who shrank under his gaze. "Is this what you call a misunderstanding? Physically removing my son because he's black?" Linda stammered. "We followed protocol." Daniel's eyes narrowed. "Did you check any white passengers' tickets with the same scrutiny?" Her silence was damning. Daniel addressed the gathered airline staff. "Everyone involved is suspended. I want a public apology to Marcus, not me. My legal team will investigate your discriminatory practices." Sarah added, "We're filing charges for discrimination and assault." Passengers from the grounded flight began deplaning, many filming the scene. Langley approached, extending a hand. "Mr. Thompson, a terrible mistake," Daniel cut him off. "You disrespected the wrong black teenager." Langley retreated, his face ashen. Daniel turned to Marcus. "Your competition's tomorrow. My jet's ready. You'll get to Seattle in style." As they left, Daniel delivered a final warning to the airline team. "When I return, we're overhauling how you treat people who look like my son." Social media exploded with videos of Marcus's removal, the hashtag United Horizon Racism trending nationwide. The airline stock plummeted 7% by market close. In Seattle, Marcus competed brilliantly, earning second place and a partial Stanford scholarship. Despite the chaos, he focused, channeling his pain into his algorithm, which optimized emergency resource allocation for underserved communities. Meanwhile, Daniel's investigation uncovered a pattern. Black and brown passengers were questioned about first-class tickets 8 times more often than white ones. Internal emails revealed executives dismissing complaints as reputation risks. The findings fueled public outrage. At a tense board meeting, Daniel presented his demands: mandatory anti-bias training, diverse hiring, transparent complaint systems, and the firing of Linda and Dempsey. Some board members resisted, citing costs, but Daniel's threat to sell his shares silenced them. He also created the Marcus Thompson Initiative for Inclusive Travel, funding resources for discriminated passengers across airlines. Marcus, inspired by his ordeal, developed the Equity Lens app, allowing users to document discrimination in real time. By the time he started at Stanford, the app had 300,000 users and $12 million in funding. United Horizon, under pressure, transformed its culture. Emily Carter, who'd stayed silent during Marcus's removal, became Director of Customer Experience, implementing Marcus's feedback system globally. A year later, at O'Hare's private terminal, Marcus prepared to fly to Stanford. Daniel joined him, noting the airline's new inclusive branding. "They're changing," he said. Marcus nodded. "Because someone's watching." His app had empowered thousands, proving dignity wasn't tied to wealth or connections. The story of Marcus Thompson showed that discrimination thrives in silence, but accountability can dismantle it. United Horizon became a model for reform, and Marcus's app gave voice to the voiceless. Justice wasn't just in firings or lawsuits, it was in building systems where everyone belonged. What do you think? Have you witnessed injustice or violence that made your blood boil? Should Marcus and Daniel have pursued harsher penalties, or was systemic change enough? Share your stance in the comments, and let's debate how we fight for fairness in our world.